My hair today was a choice made by my bike helmet. Today we're talking about creating content with AI. And I think I have kind of discovered a process where the outputs match sort of what I would write. And it is a consistent pathway to creating this content. And I think it is industry agnostic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this for my particular niche. I thought about doing it for a different niche, but I wouldn't be able to evaluate if it's good or not. And then hopefully you will get a sense of how to copy this for whatever content that you're creating. Now, for me specifically, I have been creating a course on who to target and what to say. And I'm sorry, it's moving along. It's not there yet. I'm not happy with it. And I suspect that at the end of this course, people are going to get 85%, 90% of the way there. And I'm sort of struggling with, okay, is that good enough? But neither here nor there. It's really starting to produce excellent results. But the most interesting thing is how I'm using AI to create the content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the AI content creation process. And this is the process, I think, if you want to speed up kind of anything you're doing. And so let's just dive in. All right. So the very first thing, you have to start with Claude. This weirdly does not work with GPT because it's not creative enough. Claude is creative. I always use the technical blueprint style, but explanatory is fine. And basically, you just want a style that's going to produce as much tokens as possible, explaining answers. So let's do explanatory. And first, you want to say, who are the top experts? Or let's see, before we do this, if someone is trying to identify a good audience to go after for sales and marketing campaigns, where is the best place to start for their research? Okay, so basically what you want to do is say, this is a problem. How should I begin? Where should we even begin? So first examine demographic informations, where they live, how frequently. Okay, great. So now what you want to do is say, like, what are the frameworks that people generally use to do this? So you're just trying to build up some more context. So TAM, SOM, TAM, segmentation, targeting, positioning, interesting. So great. So now we have the jobs to be done. Oh gosh, I'm really glad that the value proposition canvas, these are fantastic. And I would have never selected these. So now I'm going to bust out Super Whisper and say, what are the authors that you have in your knowledge base that have written the most amount of content around this problem and these frameworks? I'm specifically concerned with folks that have written a lot and are identified as experts in this space. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to build up, again, you want people that have written about this so you can have AI focus. Clayton Christian, jobs to be done. I don't know Phil Kotler. Value proposition canvas, Steve Blank. Now, what's really interesting, Jeffrey Moore, of course. What's really interesting is that these frameworks first actually identify the experts, which is so helpful. Okay. Now, if these experts were to get together and to determine how one should go about identifying a good audience for sales and marketing campaigns, where would they start? And most importantly, what inputs would they need from a company to be able to do this well? So now what you're trying to do is so you have experts, you have the written content, and then you want to know, what are the inputs? The inputs are what totally matter with AI. Business reality, financial data, customer economics, sales cycle information. So this is what this is where what you do is say, let's transition this. Now what I'm looking to do is I want you to act as a panel of these experts. And I want you to basically keep questioning me until you have enough information to actually recommend a strategy. So what I want you to do is I want you to create a prompt for the rest of this Claude session to just be these experts. I'm not looking for answers. I'm looking for this panel of experts to capture all the information they need. And so at the end of every output for the rest of this chat, what I want you to do is I want you to keep questioning me and evaluate at the end of your answers when you synthesize the answers that I provide. Do you have enough information to continue, or what more information do you need? So can you now sort of talk about what I have said and come up with a prompt to guide the rest of this chat in that direction? So what you're doing is you're doing a meta thing now. What you're saying is like, I know the experts, I know the frameworks, and I want you to act as those experts and talk to me as them. Now, it's really important, but above I said, you have to find people that speak a lot. They have written a lot of content because that's where the models have been trained on. So yeah, value prop. Okay. Actually, what I'm looking for you to do is to create a meta prompt. So what this meta prompt is going to do is it's going to basically, I'm going to paste it back into another session. And what I want you to do is I want you to outline the direction of this whole chat. That is, the first thing the prompt should do is say, what problem are you trying to solve? And the first output should be, what are the frameworks to help solve that problem? Then the next output needs to be what data sources are needed. Then it needs to be what experts are needed. And then once the experts are established, what the chat needs to do is from there on out, act as those experts. And the only outputs from every prompt after that should be, what more information do I need? And do I have enough to make a recommendation? So the prompt should basically the output of this prompt needs to be the first process. But once the first process is done, it needs to inform the chat to basically say all responses after the experts are selected are about evaluating, is there enough information? Yes or no. If there's not, ask questions. If there is, it should make a recommendation to solve the problem. Can you create a comprehensive meta prompt so that I can paste it into a new chat and this workflow will happen for folks? So basically what I'm trying to do here is give you a single prompt that will direct the course of a conversation to help you get to great answers. Now, the key here is once the experts have identified the information that you need, you just should use a tool like SuperWhisper, superwhisper.com, and just provide that information, upload data, etc. So the experts will tell you what data you need, but you're going to need to provide that. Yes. Yes, amazing. Okay, what I want you to do is, as an expert at really good prompts, I want you to evaluate if this prompt is good. What things do you like about it? What things should be changed? And once you have done that, create the updated prompt from the ground up as an artifact that I can share. So I do this. I always have Claude think about things and reevaluate it. It's like, okay, great. Here are strengths. And generally I don't, I should have looked at this and provided, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this with you. And anytime that you're struggling with a problem, start with this. Oh, actually, I'm going to make it. So this is actually I'll add this one other piece here, because what I like to do is talk about this and then have Claude redo it. Actually, what I want this prompt to do is I want this to identify any business, any challenge. So I want to make it agnostic. So it doesn't have to be the exact frameworks. I want the prompt to basically say, first identify the problem, then identify frameworks, then identify data, then identify experts, and then assemble the experts. And after that, everything should happen. Should basically the operating rules should be clear. So can you can you reflect on what I've said and then update this prompt to work for any particular problem that someone might be trying to solve? And then you can give examples of the TAM, SAM, SOM, and the what we've talked about. And the prompt can be even longer than this. That's okay, but make it extremely explicit that it just needs to follow this process. It could be about any particular problem. So this is really helpful to look and read and just talk, because especially with Super Whisper, as the as the system is generating output, you can talk and provide feedback on that output. Really, you're trying to discern truth here. Yeah, great. This is fantastic. Frameworks, expert panel, great. This is fantastic. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. You can, oh, it's not finished yet. I'm going to share this with you. You should start with this prompt if you're ever creating content or trying to solve a business problem, because this is the process to make sure, because the model wants to give you answers. It wants to tell you what you want. But really what you want the model to do is you want it to tell you what it needs to be able to come up with a great answer. And you want the model to be able to say, do I have enough information? Would the experts agree? Because the experts have already written about this. They've written about what information you need, etc. So you could even add one layer deep and say, what data do the experts think I need? So this process is really going to help you, because you don't have to be an expert in anything here. And this will allow you, if you have enough of a base knowledge, you'll be able to correct and question information. But this is really the framework that I'm using to create a lot of my content. And once I talk with it, and that it's actually able to produce content that I would write in my language. So thanks so much for watching. Have a beautiful Monday, January 13th. I am so grateful. And I'd like a special shout out to Katie, who wrote a really touching post on LinkedIn, and all the folks that commented. It was very meaningful to me. So I appreciate you, and thanks for watching. I hope this lesson in AI content was enlightening for you.